last Friday when we were here, you did order cost of care. The city just wanted to make the record that as of March 11th, Magistrate Klein said that it wasn't appropriate for a defendant to pay the continuing cost of care. It has been almost 3 weeks since then. The DMV has retained the dog and had to pay to care for it. So the city is requesting that the defendant be ordered to pay the cost of care that has been accrued since that impounding hearing date.
And I don't think Ms. Koppel had any objection to that. Or do you? Go ahead, Mr. Coletha.
It was just a little unclear to us, Your Honor, whether there's cost of care from March 11th, because Magistrate Klein did say that there would not be, and then subsequently on March 21st, Your Honor imposed those costs as well. So if we can just get clarification, obviously it's Ms. Alpha's preference to minimize the amount of cost that she has to pay, but we will do it for her.
I understand that, but the board is finding that Ms. Alpha is responsible for those costs of care, so that will be from March 11th forward, or whenever the dog was under the care of the city.
Yes, and I do believe that the defendant had paid through the 23rd of this month, so it would only be a period of a few days.
Okay. Thank you. All right, anything further on this matter?
One more, sorry. Well, Your Honor, just to clarify, is the court ordering that essentially Ms. Alpha needs to pay for the cost of care since the animal was impounded until the animal was released from the animal shelter? Correct. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, we can just.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Larry Bennett.
Yeah.
All the,
Checking
my
my
news,
emails.
cases are in cases, two cases that we got.
Yes. All 23 yes, 002.
Pretty much, you know, for the season.
And at this time, she dismisses both of the matters. We are not requesting.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, the court will grant that motion. Both matters will be dismissed. Mr. Sanchez, you are done. I think these cases are done.
And Your Honor, these are, ADC cases, so you can find the issues I have to
Yes, they're both real. Seal the matters.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also called the, Devin Jumper case.
Yes. 24 GS 0075890, Devin Jumper.
This is on the pre-trial docket as well, Your Honor.
Pretty much, you know, for the city, Your Honor, at this time, the city is going to
cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm talking to myself.
Remember, close Monday.
You are, what's Monday?
Caesar Chavez, Caesar Chavez.
Okay.
Dedicated confirmation. Okay. What we'll do is we'll just ask for the order. And then you should get an email address.
Here's what we're doing, city.
You should get an email address.
We would just be asking to set this out for the standard disposition date. It sounds like this is likely to see it close to this law. All right. May 13th at 8:30.
And Your Honor, I would like to address something on this matter. It looks like when the case was in 2100, the court removed the domestic violence factual basis. I will be making a motion to reapply that domestic violence factual basis, given the facts of this case. I agree with
Thank you. Congratulations on getting those cases dismissed. How did you do it? They didn't have any evidence, right?
I had evidence, but you have to be able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and I have enough evidence that make them think that they couldn't.
I have the public defender. I've given him all kinds of evidence on the date that this assault supposed to have happened. I was at the Denver Museum.
So you're saying you weren't there?
Right.
So you have an alibi?
Yes. And he won't submit it. He won't file it for dismissal.
Well, he doesn't have to. If you have an alibi, if he should. I used to be a public defender,
Okay.
so I don't want to badmouth them. They do great work.
I'm thinking about firing him because
Counsel. That's up to you if you don't feel like you're being adequately represented.
Right.
But they're very good attorneys. There must be a reason why he's doing what he's doing. I don't know because
he wants me to carry this out as long as possible for whatever reason.
Before you fire him, I just ask to sit down and have him explain to you what his theory of the case is, why he's doing what he's doing. And if you don't feel comfortable after that point, then you need to, make a decision whether you want to try and get a different attorney.
Okay.
All right? So just hang in there.
Can
Don't get angry. Just say.
I'm
just say,
disappointed.
tell
I'm
me
disappointed.
I understand. I'm sure there's a reason why. I'm sure there's a reason. They're good attorneys.
Can I get your business card?
Not cheap.
Well, I don't expect that you would be.
There you go.
Thank you
All right.
very much. Larry Bailey,
Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
Coletha Albert.
Coletha Albert?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay. Hello, sir.
We are, we just have the text for, so we're good. Do we need to copy? Pardon? Yeah. We can call Mr. Silva down there whenever the court started. Thank you. What case number is that, Mr. Rivers?
It was an add-on, I think, it's, he's qualified, but if we could just get a standard continuance, I think we'll know by the next court date. Also, I saw that he did file a consent of surety, so I think he's just asking to quash the warrant.
So Mr. Silva, why did you fail to appear?
Just transportation was, I did get here, 11, so it was too late to get a on here. And then all week I've been trying to do the consent of surety. I did send it, I wasn't here on Monday, I sent it online, and then all week it's been a hassle.
Okay. All right, I will quash the warrant and reset it, but make sure you're on time, okay? Get you. All right. Report date will be May 14th at 8:30. Oh, yeah, 10 o'clock, I'm sorry, May 13th at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's my office's information, so if you can go with them and see what happens with your application. And Your Honor, he's requesting if the court could give him some indication that he was here today, just for work purposes. I don't know if that's what we do.
Yeah, we can give it.
Thank you. Just wait over there. Appreciate it.
And we can call Mr. Trujillo.
Roll call, David Trujillo, yes, 010171.
You got to do it for the city.
And Tyler Emerson, Public Defender's Office, again, we're not on Mr. Trujillo's case, but he did, well, he tried to apply today with his phone, it didn't work, so he's going to go over to our office in person after court to apply.
All right. We'll set this over to allow you to apply, Mr. Trujillo, on May 13th, 8:30. That work? All right, got that?
That's my office's address, make sure you go over there sometime.
Oh, I see it.
Your Honor, we can call Ms. Dale, the two cases off the 10 o'clock. She's not present.
Roll call 23 GS 10046 and 24 GS 3232, Coletha Albert.
Tyler Emerson, Public Defender's Office, Ms. Dale was not present. Unfortunately, it seems like the contact information I had for her is no longer active. However, I have spoken to the city. I believe they're making a motion today.
And Your Honor, we would be moving to dismiss both of these cases. We cannot prove them beyond a reasonable doubt. I do not feel that more than time is necessary.
Thank you. No objections.
Okay.
All right, we'll grant that motion, all these matters will be discussed.
Thank you.
You want to talk to me again, or you're just watching?
Yeah, we can talk. You want to explain yourself? Okay, so this is just the way you just want me to continue and continue and continue to come to court.
I have no control over that. We set the case for trial, so we're waiting for the trial date.
Okay, so the trial is supposed to happen next week.
They have 91 days from the time to run the trial.
Okay, but the reason why it's not happening on the next week is because Tiffany's in the hospital, and we have no proof of that.
It doesn't matter. They have
Exactly.
91 days of speedy trial time.
So I can say I'm in the hospital, and you'll issue a continuous.
Possibly, but you're the defendant in this case. So they have a duty to bring you to trial within 91 days.
001581.
So basically what you're saying is just do nothing. You just do nothing.
I can't force them to run a trial.
Okay. You don't understand what I'm saying.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. That's what's starting to worry me.
I'm understanding that you're saying that you have nothing to do with this in defending me at all.
I've explained to you that every issue that you're raising is an issue for trial. It is
Okay.
not a motion to, okay?
Okay, for
Did you talk to
trial.
Mr. Bailey about this? Did he say he would take your case? Did he say he would file motions?
Why would I discuss it with you? We can't discuss even our own case. That's what we're discussing.
I think my concern right now is I feel like I might need to raise competency on the case because I don't think you understand what's going on.
I don't understand. You haven't explained anything to me. I do not understand. I don't understand any of this. I've never understood anything from the very beginning, Tyler.
Your Honor, we called a case earlier, Ms. Albert, for pretrial conference. It got reset for another trial day based on the city's motion. Can we recall that case now? Your Honor, based on my conversations, I need to raise competency at this time. I have not filed anything with the court, but I'll file that before the end of the day today.
Your Honor, I have nothing further to say.
Judge, I don't even understand what competency is. Since the beginning of this, I haven't understood a thing, and it hasn't been completely explained to me. So I'm not understanding what any of this is about. Nothing. I don't even understand what Tyler's premise is, what he's doing, and why. I have no idea.
What they'll do is, Albert, they're gonna give you an evaluation and explain to you what's going on, to make sure that you understand. Okay?
I do not understand because it hasn't been explained to me.
That's what we're gonna set up for some more, another meeting when it will be explained to you.
Okay.
Okay, so April 29th, 8:30 and 3:35.
And if you could also explain to me what my expectations should be for Tyler, because I've researched that myself, and there's a disconnect. What he should be doing. For example, there's supposed to be video, there's videotape constantly, 24/7. And I contacted them to get the video for that day, September the 7th, 2004, 1 o'clock or so. And they told me that a person did show up from the public defender's office, but they came on a Saturday when there was no management there in order to get a copy of that tape. Additionally, with Tiffany being in the hospital, I've seen Tiffany. Tiffany followed me over. I left the original shelter and moved to another one on February the 2nd. She followed me there. She has not been in the hospital for 2 months, a month, nothing. And there's no proof presented that she's actually in the hospital today to keep this trial from moving forward. Okay, but that hasn't been explained to me, that it is a separate issue. I don't understand why, that's where the disconnect is. I don't understand why that's a separate issue or anything like that, because I'd like for the trial to move forward.
Alright. Well, unfortunately, we have to vacate that trial date. We're gonna have an appointment. You're gonna meet with an individual and discuss and make sure that you understand what's going on. And then they're gonna make a determination. And then based on that determination is how we will move forward.
So what could the possible determinations be?
Well, that's not up to me to explain to you. That's up to them to explain to you.
Okay, understood. That makes sense.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Sorry, I can't give you more.
No, I know what the expectation is and where I can get that information from. I appreciate that.
Alright, so we've got so your appointment, Ms. Albert, is April 29th at 8:30, room 335, and then we'll have hearing back here May 13th at 8:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Alright, take care, Ms. Albert. You got those two dates and times, right?
One floor down from here at 8:30 in the morning. And that's the next day you have to be in court for the at 8:30 in the morning. Yep, that's the next court date, that's from 3:35, April 29th from 3:35.
Y'all, can I ask another question? If I plan to be competent and everything like that, what's my reason?
Your reports as far as not your belief that you're not having anything explained to you.
Right.
Normally that's just some more conversation and sort of making sure that you understand what the public defender's office, what they can do, what they can't do,
Right.
and that being explained to you.
Right.
Because here's the thing that's already out there. So, if you go into it thinking it's like TV court where you have one attorney and that one attorney is going to go and do the investigation and do everything, that's not TV court, that's not how it works, right? They have a million cases.
Right.
What you can expect, and then what Mr. Reimer can expect.
Right.
So that usually solves the issue. And
Right.
gives you a better idea.
Okay, so he is saying that I have to see a doctor here at
Right,
the
so
courthouse.
that person, because he's raised competency, competency means there's a belief that you may not understand what's going on, and be able to actively participate in your defense and know the legal procedure that's going on. Then and I think it's actually very beneficial in this case because you seem to have a lot of questions, and I think you can ask those questions and get a better understanding of the legal procedure and what's going on.
Mhm.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, but it still seems like I'm the one who's being, not represented fairly, not communicated fairly, not being told anything. It's a fair minimum. The reason why we're at this place right now is because Tyler is not making me understand what I'm supposed to be doing. Even as far as this whole situation about the court case being moved. I asked him, can I attend court virtually? He says no. I asked him, can he file a motion to dismiss? He says no. Everything for me is no, 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 and there's no explanation, but I'm incompetent.
That doesn't necessarily mean that.
Judge, I can jump in, I can explain, I know you don't have. This is what he's explaining. Albert obviously does not believe she's guilty of this offense.
I know I'm not.
That's why we entered the not guilty plea on the case. We were set for trial today, we're set for trial next week, pre-trial conference today. I did have my investigator go to the shelter to try and get the video. He's been unsuccessful in doing so up to this point.
He's going on the weekend with ministry, he's not there.
Well, here's the thing, Ms. Howard, they don't know everything that goes on every day, so I'm sure now they know.
He is still trying to get this video. I confirmed with him, he's still trying to get this video. We don't have it in our possession today. The city asked for a continuance based on an unavailability of their witness. I've explained that they have time left in speedy trial time. We cannot force them to run a trial next week because they still have time left in speedy trial. There have been multiple requests for me to file motions to dismiss, which I personally do not believe have any merit, and I have explained that I cannot frivolously file motions with the court as an attorney, as an officer of this court.
And sir, I submitted an alibi. I was at the Denver Museum all day on September the 7th, 2024. And I've submitted video, photos, they're all timestamped. I can provide also bank records where I bought my lift for transportation.
So that's why Mr. Roberts saying, hey, prosecution, you have to prove it.
And just to be clear, I don't have any of those things that she just said she submitted.
I submitted it to him
And
and
that's
the
part
rest
of
of
the
the
reason
office.
that competency is being raised, Your Honor.
Well, we don't need to get into the weeds, it's true. I don't allow people to apply to appear virtually, so him saying, no, you can't appear virtually, that's based on my requirements.
Okay.
And as far as the motion to dismiss, it's not, he has a legal obligation, a national obligation.
Right.
And if he doesn't have what he believes is a factual basis to file a motion, he can make
If he does file that motion, then I get upset with him. So he doesn't want to do that for multiple reasons.
Okay, but if I can show proof that I've sent him that email with all of my video and pictures showing that I was not even at the shelter during that time on that day.
But that again, that's why he entered a not guilty plea on your behalf.
But he's saying that he never even received it.
He's saying to the court, she's not guilty, and he's saying the prosecution proved it.
And you're welcome to resend it. Of course, I'll take it.
I will do that, please. I'm happy. Okay, thank you, because that's where the disconnect was, because I'm thinking that he has that. Thank you. Thank you very much.